Hola mi gente, my name is Psycho and this is
BB Diva, and we're here at Armageddon Nerf Warz
here in San Antonio, Texas. Alright guys, what we're going to be talking about is Nerf's best rival, the Nemesis.
So this is the Nerf rival gun. It's pretty easy to use. It's very friendly for the kids. You open the tray here, you insert about 110 balls in here. One of the reasons why we like the Nerf rival is that it has a battery compartment. Instead of, most of the Nerf guns are pump action, it makes it difficult for the kids to be able to just pump it back and shoot. Versus this one, you pull the trigger with the batteries. This one takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 D batteries. You put it back in the compartment. You take it off safe. You shoot, revel it, and it starts shooting. Versus having to pump back and do one dart at a time, so the kids are more into action. You have to lift this up, take this out. In order for it to activate, this needs to be put in correctly. If it's not put in correctly, it will not fire. And if you can see this little orange button right here, it gets pressed down by this, and that's the only way it'll shoot. So if it's not activated, it will not function correctly. Also, if you don't have your tray closed all the way back, it will not fire. So you open the little tray, you insert about 100, 110 balls in there. Close it. You take it off safe. So this is another cool feature. It has a on and off switch. You pull the trigger and you start shooting. And it's just continuously shooting out balls at a consistent rate. So it's pretty cool. One of the reasons why I like this versus the ones that you have to pull and pump, they're difficult for the kids to use. I mean, most of these pump actions, if the kid doesn't know how to use it, guess what? They lose out. So with my kids that are small, I mean, even for an adult, it can be difficult too. My son is 6 and my other son is 8. My 8-year-old kind of gets the concept of pulling these right here, but my 6-year-old, he doesn't have the muscle or the power. There's some other ones that you gotta pump from the bottom. Even at that, it's difficult, Anything with batteries is pretty cool, and it helps them want to actually play in the game versus them having to figure out how to pump it. The Nerf rival uses these little foam balls. It keeps their shape, so even if we were to accidentally step on them, they don't get ruined. Versus the actual foam, after using it for a couple of times, if you use it in a gun, it rips. You have to replace it. If you buy the generic ones, those don't last as good as the blue original ones that come with the Nerf guns, but those are more pricier. These are a little bit more cost effective, and they tend to keep their shape, so that's why I like this. And it's just filling up. It's an easy fill up, so oops.
So all in all, you like the rival Nemesis.
Yes.
Why do you like the rival Nemesis over any of the other rival guns?
Now this is the bigger version of all the rival selections that you have. The reason I like this one better is because it uses batteries. All that my son has to do is press the trigger and shoot. The other ones have the pump action as well. They're difficult for him to be able to use. I mean, at 6 years old, he wants to be also playing with his brother, but I mean, why not make it easier for him to do so?
Although there is a problem.
What's the problem?
Z-cell batteries and a full magazine, or a hoppazine. It's a hopper. The weight of the gun is.
So I say that? The only downside that we find with the Nerf rivals is that because it does use all these batteries, and then the compartment is full of balls, it makes it heavy. So that's the only downside of the Nerf rival, is that it becomes heavy. So for a 6-year-old to run around in the arena and be shooting at other people, he gets tired. So that's the downfall. We had to modify it so my son can be able to use it.
Alright guys, yes, we did say modify. Now, not everything that we actually learned to modify, it wasn't by trial and error. I actually did a lot of research on it. And there's a lot of big YouTubers out there right now for Nerf, like Lord Dracula. Big shout out to him. I actually learned a lot as far as a lot of the wiring and stuff that this actually takes. So first thing that you have to do is get rid of the D-cell pack. That needs to go. You're able to purchase a rechargeable battery that gets inserted into here. And the only thing is that we are an airsoft shop, so we do have 9/6 volt batteries, which they come in different shapes and sizes. Now, something that they do, or a lot of the big YouTubers do, they beef up the wiring. Because if you go over to a 3S LiPo, or in our world, it would be considered like an 11-1 LiPo. There's a lot of resistors inside of there that actually prevent it from being able to shoot. Like we even tried it. We had snipped the back, we put a tomato plug up in the back, and we went from fire to safe to fire, and we actually started trying to rev it so that way the flywheels can turn and nothing moved. And that's because there's a lot of safety features in order for it to not burn out your motors and burn out anything else that you have in there, which is a good thing. But that's why they had to put in new resistors. They have to put in a lot of other switches and stuff like that in order for it to activate. Now, if you got the funds to go ahead and do all that stuff, then we had to do all these. So we're not able to have that luxury of being able to beef it up. Now, if you're not familiar with LiPo batteries, they're very awesome. They make your stuff perform at its maximum potential, except you need to know, not to drain them all the way down, because once you drain all the way down, they're gone forever. Then you're gonna have to wire a LiPo indicator on the top, which is more work, which is great, right? I mean, the more you can get into it, the better it is. But if you're somebody like us, you're just trying to get your gun to shoot better, right? You're going from this, and Happy Family, shout out to them. They came in and they had the original D-block, stuff, and he had the D-cells in it, and he revved his and we revved ours. Massive difference. Now, when we did ours, we had to desolder the actual connectors in the back, extend the wire, and actually just run the wire up here so that way we can put a tomato plug. Now these come stock tomato plug. Now we did it on a budget, and a lot of the stuff that we do it on a budget because not everybody can get those better, can get all that stuff, and have the time to be able to wire everything. The quickest thing that you can do without having to beef up your wiring, 9/6 volt battery is the best thing you can do. You can drain these all the way down. If you're an airsofter, even better because you already have these. So if you're crossing over to the Nerf world, or you're a Nerfer and you're trying to figure out something different, these are very rechargeable. They have a great life. After using, we have these in our rentals. After using these in our rentals all day, even the low cell ones, let's say they're low charge, we plug it in and it still overpowers, these guys, easy, by far. Now, fully charged battery, it's no different from a 11-1 LiPo. Again, 11-1 LiPos are gonna still perform better, but there's a lot more stuff you gotta do to the gun. If you're looking for a real quick fix, you don't have to really go that crazy into it. Yes, you still have to. This is a clamshell, which means once you take this off, you have to take all these screws, and be careful not stripping them. This is our favorite one to strip for whatever reason. On this rifle Nemesis, this screw right there is always the first one to go as far as stripping. But once you get all the screws off, then you have to clamshell. It's a clamshell gun, so you take it off, and then you see all the wiring. Now the wiring is not that great as far as being able to take a lot of power, and that's why we decided to use a 9/6 volt battery. We did wire up a 16 gauge wire to extend it and then to be able to connect it back here. You have plenty of space back here. I think it's Dom. Dom's our manager. He's actually playing music by accident in the arena. Alright guys, so going back to the battery. If you're on a budget, best way to do it, just get your wiring extended out and connect it. And it's going to perform really great. Again, like BB Diva said, it's still a great gun for somebody my size. It's a great gun for anybody that can actually hold it up with everything on it, even with this battery. But my younger son, 6, he's like this because it's so huge on him. You'll see it in some of the video here in a minute. So what we did is we ended up Is that the same one?
They're supposed to look the same.
Hold it. It's lighter.
1, 2, 3. I want to feel the other one.
Oh wait, that's not it. It's over here. It's under the shemiage.
Huh? That's mine?
That's it.
Then where's the size?
Right there.
Wait, what? Why is it different? Ha 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 ha.
Pick it up.
Is that how we'll shoot with a lot more bullets? That. Only
Pick it
that
up.
one.
Pick it up.
I'll give this to Zion.
It's ready to shoot.
No.
Here, get on the floor.
I don't have paint.
Because I was gonna paint it, but I wanted you to play with it first.
Come on. Is that enough? Wait,
Here, shoot that way.
what shoots the most?
They both shoot the same. No. You like it?
Wait, that's it.
Alright, right now it's got blue tape because we're still going to do a cool paint job on it. But compared to the original design, let's take these out. Compared to the original design, there you go. Big difference. I looked online, I tried to see if anybody's done any type of changes as far as modifications and shrinking of the gun. And you know, some of you guys are really awesome. You guys 3D print a lot of stuff that you add onto the guns. You guys do a lot of acrylic builds and stuff. But I could not find anything to help me make something like this. So what we end up doing, we end up taking a lot of our ideas from Airsoft to be able to modify the wiring, all that stuff. So we actually wired it coming out of here because we took out all the space, the available space in the actual Nemesis. Now, I tried to find a Nemesis that was comparable but smaller, like a knockoff version or something, and I couldn't find anything. The only thing I found was like a $30 gun at Walmart, and you know, if you end up doing a wire change and you end up adding a battery, like the 9.6, flywheels will blow up. They'll spin so fast that they just completely come undone. There's it's like hopper fed, and you know, anything that's hopper fed and comes down to a straight tube, it just jams up really bad. And even our buddies at Happy Family, you know, they gave us their review as far as what they thought about it. And I was like, man, I need something smaller for my son. And he goes, why don't you just make one? There we are. So, we thawed it up, chopped off a bunch of stuff. We shrunk down this. We actually used epoxy putty. Again, our friend Lord Dracula, you guys actually gave us the idea of being able to use the epoxy putty for it to seal. Epoxy putty, you gotta mesh it up, you gotta knead it really bad for a little bit, and then you start, applying it. But before you do all that, you want to make sure you got all your cuts and stuff. So we end up cutting it up. We put it together. We bonded on the outside, and we actually use after it's set, because it sets about in 30 minutes or so. It starts to kick in, which means you don't have that room to play with it anymore, as far as being able to apply it smoothly. And we found that the hard way on this part. So we actually had another tube with us that that we had to went ahead and apply it on here. We went on there thick, so trying to get it on there. We didn't ruin the integrity of the wire, because all we did was rewire the wire, and a lot of these screw joints that are in there, we actually were able to fasten the wire underneath it and actually have it come out through here. Now for the time being, again, we don't have a 3D printer or anything like that, but we had to figure out something in order for it to work. Now, the design itself, it's almost flawless, man. I mean, this is the best spiral gun in the market. They got the bigger one, right? But that you can actually hold from the top. But, son, you wanna come over here so you can show them? Alright, so this is Nehemiah. You guys seen him on our channel. This would be his gun, right? Actually, get that one I can. This one still has a diesel battery. I'm going to just put this one aside. Alright, so this one already has the upgraded connector ready to roll, and it's actually already connected. So what do you gotta do with it? This is his. Now his younger brother is smaller. Yeah. That's good. Thank you. So what we end up doing is we end up using a barrel sock that we have here, and we just added some Velcro to it. Again, it's on the budget, which means when I told Dom, the manager who actually helped us, and another person, what's his name? Dylan. He's a player here. He's an airsoft player, and he actually helped us try to work with the bottom and stuff. Son, have a seat. That way I can wire this up. So you Velcro this down, and I told Dom, dude, I want something that people can replicate. If they're on a budget, they can replicate it pretty easy, because there's a lot of DIY stuff, and you need a 3D printer, you need all kinds of stuff to be able to do it. So now, connect it. Now, there's not a LiPo battery. Don't get it confused. This is a nickel metal hydride battery, which means that you don't have to worry about it overheating or anything like that. And if you do need to disconnect it, you can just disconnect it with Velcro. Again, it's on a budget, so let's Velcro that down. Aesthetically, it's gonna still do its job, but eventually we do want to get something that gets like a hard plastic cover for the battery to be installed. We added some more Velcro down here because when we add lights, you could actually get access. I'm gonna attach the switch right here, and I want to be able to access my diesel battery. Now I'm gonna use a rechargeable diesel battery to be able to. No, it's not a diesel battery. It's a 9-volt battery. So it's a rechargeable 9-volt battery. I actually found it on Amazon. So it's a a rechargeable 9-volt battery that I found that I'm gonna wire up right here so I can run off of a different battery source. A lot of people want to run off the same power source, but it's gonna affect your rival as far as, you know, you're pulling from the same current. You have these running on you have the flywheels that run at a certain current, and then you have your conveyor belt that gets activated. Now you're gonna add lights to it, and you're gonna draw, and it's gonna affect all the voltage passing through the gun. So that's why we decided to just wire that up differently. And in order for you to access it, again, we don't have a 3D printer or anything like that, so not yet at least. But once it's already all hooked up, I'm going to show them how easy it is to be able to put. Now, we didn't redesign or do anything crazy with the Hopazine. But you want to put it on there, son, and you want to shoot it. Again, it's got blue tape because we're going to do a paint job. So, yeah, just put it on. So, actually, yeah, I'll put it in this first. Okay, slap that down, and we're going to use it. That was a great demonstration. So, still does his job, still very cool. We got the full version of Rival Nemesis, and now we have the compact version. Dom says it looks like a giant fish. So, first ones to do this mod, claimed it, Armageddon Nerf Warz. Guys, check us out. We're your friendly neighborhood Nerf arena, located here at San Antonio, Texas, and check out all our videos, man. They're really cool. Try to do something different. So let's get BB in here so we can do a closing.
Like and subscribe to our channel, to our family viewers.
Live the game.
Live the game.
Yeah, me and my bundle job. The different Nemesis.
Like, just have like little stock or raise, and then you just like you're like the turret of like the team, and it's just like not just a turret, like deterrent. Deter people from poking their heads out. Bigfoot.
No!
Not the airsoft.
cutting this out.